You probably recognize this as one of the example Figma sites. What you probably don't recognize is this fancy pop-up popping up asking for an email and having some very weird copy. So in this tutorial, I'm going to explain you how you can add pop-up forms to your Figma sites without too much hassle. You'll notice this is a pretty short tutorial. So before we dive in, this is one of the examples of Figma sites, and as you can see, we have a pop-up form here, which is not only functional in the typing sense, so I can leave my email address here, I can click the button here, I can press everything, but actually also collects information and then can send it to your Google Sheet or whatever. So let's first see how we've built the form, and then let's check how we integrated it. So the form itself, I'm not going to go into details. We've used a product called Weebly.ai, which is our own. So obviously it's the best, but you can do this with more or less any other form builder as well, as far as I know. So it's a very simple form, 2 questions and an email. We've sort of themed it so that it matches the Figma theme. All of this is AI generated, so you can theme with AI or you can add content with AI, you name it. So if you're interested in form building, just check out Weebly.ai. That's about as much as I'm going to say about building the form. So once you have the form built, in Weebly, you'll have a share button here, so you can share it as a standalone form, so just a link that you send out to people, or you can also embed it. There's a pop-up part here, but this is full screen, so we're not going to use it. So essentially, this is the part that we'll need. So there's a script that we need to add to the head of our page, and then there's a snippet that's going to actually contain the form that we have. So diving back into Figma, if we look at our example here, we're not changing anything about our design. So this is the cool part. Your design just stays the way it is. But if you head on over to settings, site settings, at the bottom here, there's 2 things that you'll need to add. The first one is in the head, you'll need to add the Weebly script. So this is going to load the Weebly library basically. And then whether it's at the start of the body or the end of the body, it doesn't really matter. There's a piece of code that you'll need to add there, which contains this div that we gather from Weebly itself, and then some mechanics that have a pop-up. So let's dive into the code a bit. Don't worry, all of this can just be generated by GPT. I'll also leave a link to the actual code at the description of this video if you just want to copy paste it. It's pretty basic. So we have our div here, which is contain our form itself, a script which is going to set the pop-up after a second basically, so you can change this any way you want, and then something to close. So there's this kind of cross that we can click to close, but you could also just have a close by clicking outside of the form, for example, and have that added to the script. And then some basic styling, so we just set the position to be fixed at the bottom right, some border radius. This is all pretty standard CSS stuff that you can just ask Claude or GPT to generate for you. Of course, you can just tweak the one that I created. And then of course, we make sure that on mobile, this is set to full screen. So if we dive back into Figma, this is everything that you need to do. So just add some custom code to your site settings, and then you'll see it pops up after a second. And on mobile, we have something which is full screen. Depending on your form, you might want to tweak the width and the height so that you can see the badge here so that nothing is sort of cut off. So this is how you add a pop-up form to your Figma site. I'll leave a link to the code below where you can generate one using GPT or Claude. And then, of course, Weebly does whatever you expect it to do from a form builder, meaning you get your results in a results page, but you can also integrate with Google Sheets, Airtable, have email notifications. There's a whole bunch of features. Just check out the channel for other tutorials on that. Yeah, that's essentially it. Leave a comment if you have any other questions, and if you're interested in other form related topics, please like and subscribe.